this virus is that it's easily transmissible. Number one, um, and that's really the problem. And then also, um, it's there's still some mortality rate associated. It's not the highest. It's less than 1% or something like that. But still, there is a mortality rate, and it's easily transmissible. So those two factors combine to make it a deadly virus. But there are other viruses that or pathogens that are deadlier. That once you get it, you have a higher percent of dying, right? But they're not as transmissible. If that makes sense, right? So really, what we need to do is we need to get down this R number, right, which is the infectivity number, how many people we infect for each person, and that's where the social distancing, the face masks, and the ECQ comes in.
Okay, thank you. Next question, Sir from Regina Leva. Sir, can patient really tested negative from oral swab but tested positive from fecal swab still transmit the virus to others?
So that's a good question. So the logic is, okay, they don't have it already in the respiratory system, right? But they're shedding it inside, and that so the virus is still replicating somehow, right, in the digestive system, and it's shedding it somehow in the fecal material. So, if there is a fecal oral type of pathway, then the answer is yes. They would still be able to infect others. But if it's purely um, a respiratory pathway, then maybe not. But then here's the other problem too, is that a lot of these tests, there is a certain there are error rates, if you will, right? There are false negatives. There's a high rate of false negatives. Um, in other words, if you have a test and it shows positive, then most likely, yeah, you have it. But if it shows negative, there's still a chance that you actually have it, and the test is still detected. Then the question now is, you detect, you show up negative with the oral swabs, but you're shedding it. Does that really mean that the oral swab test was just not good enough, right? So these are all kinds of questions that people in this field are grappling with. Um, because if you're asymptomatic and you're shedding it, then are you also infective? Um, yeah, so our approach is sort of like an abundance of caution. And in my mind, if you're shedding it in your stool, that means you still have the virus. And there's a chance that you're still infected, even from a respiratory pathway standpoint. I hope that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
but essentially, more testing is good, right? In other words, if you see it in different samples from the same person, then you know that even though the oral swab is negative, that person still has the virus.
Yeah. So there's a related question I tried to answer kanina, pero you might as well answer it yourself also. From Haji PJ Aranda, is there a way we can develop a system for using wastewater, I think, to trace the virus? It has a great potential in order for government to act on looking at the pandemic quickly. I have heard that polio resurgence were detected via wastewater sampling.
Right, right. That is correct. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is really the sort of the power or potential of this, right? It's because you're combining the wastewater of a lot of people, then you have a pooled sample, and and again, obviously, if you detect something from that pooled sample, then you know that in that population something's happening, and if you can mathematically um, use a model to estimate how many people, from the levels in the wastewater, that becomes a positive, that becomes a powerful method. Um, Yeah, so that is the hope. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done because there's a lot of assumptions when you do that kind of modeling. So we need to make sure that we have enough evidence and basis for every assumption that we make. Um, but yeah, that's the hope that visual surveillance can be, in addition to other testing, can help.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned earlier that that is a cheaper way than
Yep.
the vaccine testing.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Population. Yeah. So here's another question which is related to that. It's alarming. This is from Alan, Benung, Sudan. It's alarming if COVID can reside in our water supply pipes. How will we know if there's a presence of SARS-2 SARS-CoV-2 in our pipes?
So if you're talking about drinking water, hopefully, I've convinced you that, we haven't found it in drinking water anywhere. Um, and people are looking for this, and that if it's properly treated drinking water, um, it should be safe, right? So I think that's the first thing. So there's no cause for alarm. Um, we don't have it in drinking water. Um, the other thing too is that you really don't get it from you know drinking water itself, right? It really has to enter a respiratory pathway. Um, so let's say you drink water with SARS, okay? It goes through a different, it doesn't go into your uh, trachea and respiratory system, right? It goes to esophagus, it goes to your digestive system. So, as far as we know, the virus actually um, acts on your respiratory system, your lungs, and so on. So, you don't get it from food, you don't get it from drinking water. And the question now is actually, when if it's in water, then you somehow,
Bakit
touch
may
your
nasa?
face, touch your eyes, because that's kind of all connected. Um, or touch your nose. As you know, your nose and mouth are connected a little bit in the pharynx, but it doesn't really. If the water just goes down into your digestive system, it should not go into your respiratory system. But there is obviously, a connection there in the pharynx. Um, but yeah, in general, you don't get it from food, you don't get it from drinking water. Um, it's really more when you breathe it in. Okay, so in the pipes, again, there's a die-off, right, in the pipe. So even if the virus can survive forever, that's the first thing. There's a decay rate. So after a few days, it should be gone, right? I think the problem is, um, well, it's not a one-time thing, right? If it keeps getting re-inoculated, if you will, from infected people, that's the issue. Um, but it doesn't live forever. I think that's the main thing also. Even on the surface, it will die over time, and it's a few days.
Okay, so yeah, thank you. The next question is somehow related, so I'm not so sure because it's regarding Maynilad.
Yeah.
Sorry, the bulk water. So he's from Mary Antalay Pai. If I am not mistaken, Maynilad sell untreated water in Bulacan part. They call it raw water. Uh, is it possible that it is contributing to the spread of the virus?
Okay, so I'm not sure. I'm not aware of that. For drinking, it has to go to at least filtration. Um, so I think, if they're selling raw water, it might be for other users. I'm not sure, so you
We
really can't
cannot
answer
sell
that.
raw. We have
Yeah.
to put into the water to be able to put a price. Yeah, but I think you've answered it also that you have treated it. So I
Right.
think it's very good. Uh, okay. I might just miss this from Hill Cruise. It's about the okay. There are reports of improper disposal of face masks, gloves, and other PPEs in the bodies of water. Risks brought by disposal of these medical wastes.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big issue, right? Because as we use more and more, you have to think about again. This is not just wastewater; it's now solid waste. That is a waste stream that we need to think about because with or without SARS-CoV-2, it can contaminate our water. Like we have plastics, for example, and so on. Um, so yeah, I mean, unfortunately, during a pandemic like this. Um, the emergency nature of it is that we need the PPE, right? But someone somewhere has to think about the other systems, and again, that's kind of